You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the show where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. And yep, you're hearing that right. My name is Matt and I am hosting this game.
It's the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge.
No, I know. It's been so long that I can never remember what it is. That voice was Ken. Hey, Ken. How's it going?
Oh, it's good.
I'm over here. I'm a little upset today, to be quite honest. Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas are parting ways. So if
Why are you upset?
If you have your donkeys, raise them in the air, pour a little out. I just want happiness for both of them.
That means Ana de Armas is single.
Well, that's true, but so is Ben Affleck. If you really like back tattoos, don't worry about me. Just go straight to Ben Affleck.
He's got a doozy of a back tattoo, that's for sure.
He does. I heard it rose from the tattoo shop that he got it done at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Out of the ashes.
Out of the ashes.
So you'd say that back tattoos are your guys' Hollywood connection?
I think so. And speaking of that beautiful segue, as Matt is often known for, we have some special guests here. Matt, who is that?
That would be Sam and Paul Carr of the Hollywood Cast Connection. That's Hollywood with 2 L's and 2 O's, I've been told. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great, man. I'm actually taking a break from designing my back tattoo to record this podcast. So appreciate you guys inviting us to be on here.
It is a long and arduous process. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves and your podcast, where you're coming from?
For sure. Yeah, I'm Sam. I'll let Paul introduce himself in a minute, but I'll tell you a little bit about the show. We are the Hollywood Cast Connection. It's the show where we fabricate relation through degrees of separation. So basically, it's the classic Kevin Bacon game, but with a competitive edge to it and kind of a twist there. So we are anywhere you find podcasts. And our Facebook group is The Credits, so you can interact with us over there, and we have mini games and fun things to do outside of the show that comes out every week.
Yeah, and I'm Paul. I'm his younger brother, and I just get to hang out with him and have a good time every week because he's the guy behind it all. He does all the work, all the production and editing and everything, and I get to play a game, which is good. You know, I like to call myself an aspiring movie buff because I don't think I've reached full buff status yet. But
you keep lifting, you'll get there.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. And Neal, you've been on the episode, right? You've been on their show before?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I went up against Paul, and it was a lot of fun. I won't spoil anything if you haven't heard it. It's a really cool episode with some fun little references, and maybe some animals are involved. No animals are harmed, but they might be involved. So,
all right. Well, that sounds great. I guess today, then, Triviality, you'll be taking on the Hollywood Cast Connection. You guys want to have some fun team names?
I think we're just going to be plain old Triviality today.
I mean, we could be plain old Hollywood Cast Connection, but generally when we come up with team names, they're usually still in the Hollywood theme. So based on Paul's love for Italians in film like Tarantino and DiCaprio, and my love for Dan Harmon and Denim Cutoffs, we were thinking we were going to be Rick and Jorty. So that works for you.
That works for everyone, I think. With that out of the way, let's kick it to the rules guy and figure out how we're going to play today.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Oh, now I get it. That's why we've been losing so much, Matt. I didn't understand the rules.
Yeah, I think that was our real big handicap, actually.
I think we played it at 0.5 speed, so I think it's a little bit more understandable now.
I am not editing it to 0.5 speed.
Can I tell you guys that I accidentally hit the 0.5 speed button on your podcast the other day, and you guys all sound like 80-year-old men, and it is hilarious. It's my new favorite way to listen to your show.
Well, I already sound like a 60-year-old man, so 20 years isn't so bad.
Exactly. It's not adding a whole lot to you, Ken, just everybody else.
We're like the Muppet guys up in the balcony screaming at things.
Exactly. Statler.
Yeah, I would recommend that if you listen to our show and think, I wish this was twice as long. Just do that.
All right. Well, Matt, since we're not on a team today, I am going to be shooting for the win. So let's get this game started.
Yeah. Did we say Jeff isn't here? I think he's getting a LASIK surgery so that he can see into the future.
But when we say LASIK, we mean laser hair removal.
Yes. Well, he wants to be...
He wants to be completely fleshy.
He wants to be the Vin Diesel of podcasting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Body Hairless 2021. Let's go. All right. Question 1. In a somewhat fishy development, Tim Salmon was recently replaced as the all-time home run hitter in this franchise history by what MLB superstar?
All right. I know Ken doesn't know too much about baseball, but I think I have a decent enough understanding to lock in here.
Now, did Tim Salmon go into like the salmon smoking industry after he retired, or?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty easy marketing there,
easy
so I would hope so.
Yeah, exactly. Tim Salmon, smoked salmon. It's like a John Ham situation.
Slammin' salmon.
What it is.
Could it be like a Mike Trout reference, and his name is Salmon, and the other guy's name is Trout?
Sure, that's fine with me. I got nothing.
All right, cool. We're gonna lock in Trout.
My last name is Fisher, so I'm hoping that if I'm reeling in the correct answer here, and we also went with Mike Trout.
Yeah, it is somewhat fishy that Tim Salmon was replaced as the Angels' all-time home run hitter by Mike Trout.
That's crazy.
Awesome.
What a great fact. I love that.
That's really good.
That's amazing. Yeah.
All right, moving on to question 2. While often ending up on the worst movie of all time list, this Alfred Hitchcock-inspired film has built up a bit of a cult following and was called by website Bloody Disgusting the best worst film you'll see in 2010.
All right, so Ken and I discussed that it possibly could be Disturbia, but we didn't think they would call that the best worst movie of all time, and we settled between either Snakes on a Plane or Big Ass Spiders. And I think I'm going to lean towards Big Ass Spiders, even though I know Ken said he wasn't too keen on it, but that's what we're going to lock in with.
Okay. Hollywood Cast Connection.
Yeah, we leaned into the Hitchcock-inspired aspect of it, and we actually did lock in with Disturbia.
Okay, well, the Hitchcock movie that they're inspired by was Birds, and this would be the classic Birdemic.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I don't even think I've heard of Birdemic. It just makes me think of Schitt's Creek.
The crows. The crows have eyes.
Movie.
The crows have eyes, yeah.
It's the one with the really bad CGI birds.
Awesome.
Pretty classic on the internet.
I guess in 2009 you can't be like tying birds to people anymore, though.
Question 3. Within 4, how many elements on the periodic table are naturally occurring?
We are locked in. So what do you guys think?
I don't know. I seriously have no idea. Like 20. 20 is how many I memorized in chemistry class. So I'm going to go with 20.
Nice. All right. So on your periodic table, there are 20 elements. Excellent. Okay.
We were kind of thinking about the table, and there's the bottom 2 rows, which are the man-made or man-produced ones. And I think this might be a little high, but I think the main chart ends towards 90 or so. So that's what we said, 90.
All right. So the answer is 94, making 90th or 98th the answer.
I wish I would have said 100 because I still would have been out, but way closer.
Nice poll.
I know Jeff is feeling that somewhere.
He just shuddered.
Knowing that it
hurts.
And then the LASIK technician said, "Stay still, otherwise these pubes aren't going nowhere."
He asked for the bald package, so $21.99.
Question 4. People with cellophobia may be weary of saying cheese or certain Kanye West songs off of Graduation. What is this fear?
I can lock in.
All right, so these guys are locked. I don't understand the Kanye reference, but I'm guessing having your picture taken.
Oh, that's That's
Saying
possible.
cheese.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's like
What's the Kanye thing? Do you know?
I'm trying to remember the
Photo album or picture, something like that.
Yeah, it could just be a reference to his album, the one they mentioned, Graduation, so meaning getting your picture taken. So.
Okay. Well, I think if you read R.L. Stein's Say Cheese and Die one too many times, you might have cellophobia. So we're going to say picture taken.
Here's a Hollywood cast connection for you. The TV series Goosebumps, the Say Cheese and Die episode starred Ryan Gosling.
Nice.
It's great. You should look it up. I think the reference was to the title of a Kanye West song off the Graduation album that is called Flashing Lights. So I'm going to lock in with Flashing Lights.
And the answer is Flashing Lights.
Nice one.
I forgot about that song. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Flashing Lights.
That one, yeah.
Just like that. Neil.
Just like that. I was actually the sample for that song.
That's all we can play before Kanye West sends his lawyers after us. So.
Featuring Justin Vernon and Elton John for some reason.
All right. This is a question 5, and it comes from listener Connor Kreutzer, who sent this in roughly 1 hour ago. So thank you so much for that, Connor, because I was one question short.
Right under the wire.
All right. He says, this CW show, running from 2003 to 2012, had every episode named after a popular song or album. I don't want to give too much information, but the title of the show comes from U2's Joshua Tree album.
So I believe I didn't watch the show, but I think in the clue he said, I don't want to give a clue. And I know One Tree Hill's theme song was Gavin DeGraw. I don't want to be.
All right. We can go with that.
Okay.
I mean, the only one that I know that is potentially CW that had songs in it is My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And the only U2 song that I can think of that's that old is maybe Sunday Bloody Sunday. But there's not a show called Sunday Bloody Sunday. So any thoughts, Paul? You leaning any other way?
No, dude. Go for it.
I'm going to go with My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, even though it's wrong.
Our answer over here, we weren't too sure on it. I know that there was a show that had a lot of music, and I kind of picked up on a clue that I thought was in there, and it could be way off, but we went with a CW staple, One Tree Hill.
And your answer is One Tree Hill.
Nice.
How do we forget that?
Even though this was a question 5, this is a total Matt question.
One Tree Hill is actually one of the ones I didn't watch, so it's something I have to catch up on.
I didn't watch it either. I remember I know you liked the OC, which I feel like it was the CW's version of the OC, and Chad Michael Murray was on Gilmore Girls, and so was Adam Brody, so it was sort of like their own spinoff.
All right, so after 5 questions, what are the scores?
All right, well, it looks like Team Hollywood Cast Connection has 20 points, and Team Triviality has 30 points.
All right, well, then moving on to question 6. And this is a question that everyone must have expected. One thing that I did not expect in the year 2021 is the return of a sea shanty of sorts, with a TikTok performance of the Wellermen becoming a pretty large phenomenon. In the song, the Wellermen has come to bring the people 3 different things. Name 2 of them.
Oh, geez. I've been watching all of these TikToks, like, because on TikTok, basically you have, the main one, and then people duet it, so there's just duet after duet after duet, and there's like 20 people singing, and I never listen to the lyrics because I just like watching what the people are wearing and how they're emoting.
We only need one item.
It sounds like you only need one item. Well, it's going to be 2, but I think you guys have no clue what I'm saying.
I know there's many different sea shanties that have one item that's always in all of them, so what if I just went with just my gut on listening to different sea shanties? Okay, we're going to lock in.
Sea shanties. I mean, I was thinking gold, frankincense, and myrrh, but the story of the Christ child is not a sea shanty per se.
Yet.
To quote Neil Fisher, yet. I don't know. What do sea shanty people normally bring? Would it be like? I would think gold would be one of them. Pearls, maybe. That's ocean adjacent. I'm going to go with pearls. I'm not going to get any closer to it just by fishing. So pearls.
I know sailors love their alcohol, and I figured, if you're in a sea shanty, you'd probably want some rum. So that's what we said.
Well, the Wellerman has come to bring them sugar and tea and rum.
Nice. We didn't stand a chance.
I'm glad I watched.
Why is the rum gone, though?
Well, that's a
Yeah,
good
we could
question.
have got there from a movie angle.
I know.
What's Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe? Don't they like get pretty intense in The Lighthouse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they drink
Oh,
any
yeah,
rum?
and he doesn't blink for
they
like
do?
3 whole
Oh, yeah.
minutes. Insane.
Yeah.
Your sweater is kind of like one of those like sailor sweaters, kind of.
Is it? What do they call this? Chain link or something?
I
Chain
don't
link
know.
sweater?
I could see you on a boat though wearing that.
It actually, this was a
Cable knit,
A
maybe?
cable knit. That's what it is. Thank you. What did I say? Chain link.
Chain link,
This
yeah.
was a white sweater, but it's now red because of the blood of the men I've
murders.
killed. Yeah.
He's wearing some kind of chainmail is what it sounds like. If you're listening at home, that is what he's wearing.
I'm
Just
wearing
mesh chainmail.
emails that tell you to forward.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. When you receive the sweater, you better forward it to 5 people or something bad will happen.
All right, moving on to question 7. Philosopher Adam Smith is known for creating the theory of absolute advantage. Through his works, he was given 2 paternal nicknames. Name either one of them.
Big Papa.
Right where my mind went.
We're going to lock in with Godfather. We're just going to kind of preemptively lock in here.
Paul.
Mhm.
I like Papa, Daddy, Dad.
I
Daddy.
feel like it has to be the father of something. Like both of them are the father of absolute advantage, but another term for that, or something that falls into that category.
It sounds like a car rental company.
Yeah, there you go. It's the loyalty perk you get from...
Welcome, Absolute Advantage customer. Here is your Ford Focus.
Oh yeah, he's the father of loyalty programs.
Lock it in.
Locking in, father of loyalty programs.
Okay, so it looks like you guys are both really close. When you said father of something, you were headed in the right direction. Absolute advantage is a term that's often used in economics. So he's known as the father of economics or the father of capitalism.
Oh.
So we have him to blame.
I was going to say that's who Ken has a voodoo doll of that he keep continually pokes.
All right, let's move on to question 8, which is probably both closer to your guys' wheelhouse. When looking for a choreographer for an iconic wedding scene in Coming to America, the producers didn't have to look too hard to find someone who would be forever their girl, as they chose this American dance idol.
We can lock in.
I don't know. Paula Abdul, Janet Jackson. Fits the time frame, maybe. But
the clue. What
I
does
don't know
that
what
have to
that
do
means.
with the clue?
Doesn't mean anything.
I
to
know
me.
it's a thing.
I'm sure it's the title of a song or something. Well, if I don't know it, there's no sense in like hemming and hawing about it. It's either Janet Jackson or Paula Abdul in my mind. So
It's neither of those.
he said with such surety as he has no idea what the correct answer is.
He doesn't know what it is, but he knows what it ain't.
Knows what it ain't. I don't know. I like Janet better. Paula scares
Okay.
me.
Janet Jackson. Locked in.
All right, locked in with Janet Jackson. Neal, you seem like you had a better idea on this one.
Yes, I'm allergic to cats, but I do welcome DJ Scat Cat, so we went with Paul Abdul.
You got to be.
Oh,
you got it.
MC Scat Cat.
Oh,
And
no.
yes, the answer is Paula Abdul.
Wow.
That is your fault, Paul.
No, it's not.
Paul, you
She
should have
has
been
most
born
of my
earlier.
name.
Forever Your Girl being the album that Straight Up was on.
Oh, got it.
Oh, I was off.
I had that on cassette tape that I got
that
at
song is
Walmart.
running in my head this whole time too. I just didn't know. I didn't know.
I just like the J. Cole version better. Was it Workout where he sampled that whole thing for the final hook there? It's good.
All right, moving on to question 9. On the classic Wu-Tang album, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, there is a song that is just the acronym CREAM. What does CREAM stand for?
Locked in.
That is all you.
Oh, he's locked in already.
Yeah, it's Cash Rules, everything.
And
Oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. I know this too because I have this album. I've listened to it a million times.
is it a lyric?
Yeah, they say it. They say it. I think they say it at one point. Yeah. Cash. Oh my god, I'm having such a bad brain fart. Because I know track 7 is Wu-Tang ain't nothing. I know
Just
that.
take your time.
Cash Rules. All right, I guess we'll just have to go. Cash Rules everything and more because I can't pull it right now. I'm having like the most severe brain fart I've ever had. Sorry, Eric Walling, who I know
Since last week.
Since last week, yeah.
All right, put Neal out of his misery here. What's the answer?
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. Yeah.
Oh, see, I could have said dollar bill, y'all, but I didn't. Yeah,
That would have got you there. You could have reverse engineered the
I should have.
A&M.
I should have.
All right, let's finish up this round with question 10. The national bird of this Baltic country is the white wagtail, which may have been a rejected nickname of Kristaps Porzingis.
It's a Mavericks question that we're going to get wrong. You know we're from DFW, Matt.
Paul looks so disappointed, or you're thinking I can't tell the difference.
I promise I did really well in school. I promise I did.
Very recently, if we haven't mentioned this. For some reason, I think like the north side of Eastern Europe is like Scandinavia, and the south side of Eastern Europe on the top part of Africa and on the west part of Asia is Balto land.
Balto.
Yeah.
What? Yes.
And for some reason, that's where I put Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania in alphabetical order.
I feel like, I don't know, for some reason I associate one of those with a bird. We're looking for the name of the country, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
With the white wagtail.
Let's go with Estonia because for some reason I associate that with a bird.
Okay.
You don't want to kill
Triviality.
two birds with one Estonia?
That's the saying. It's on a T-shirt. Buy it
Nice.
now. Yeah, we were talking about it. I'm almost positive most of the Eastern European basketball players that are pretty stellar, or many of them, come from Lithuania, and we locked in with that.
Well, the answer was said at one point. It is actually Latvia.
Oh, dang
the
it.
other one.
Stop giving me the final rule on the answers, Sam. You give me two
Hey,
options.
we
I will
both got
pick
it
the
wrong.
wrong
I'm fine
one
with that.
every time.
Well,
All right. Well, heading into the swing round, what are the scores?
thank you, Matt. It looks like the scores are 30 for the Hollywood Cast Connection, a.k.a. Rick and Jordy, and 50 points for Team Triviality, or the other guys, starring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Before we throw it back to Matt, just wanted to mention that you can join Sam and Paul over in the Crop. Come say hello. There's a bunch of different posts that we have over there as far as sign-up sheets go, and news and spoiler threads for each episode. Or you can come over to our brand new Discord and talk with a bunch of people over there as well if you'd like a non-Facebook alternative. So please reach out on social media at TrivialityPod over at Facebook and Twitter and any of those good places, and you might be able to interact with Matt and get one of his gems of a witty comment.
Maybe. We'll see. You guys ready for my swing round?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right. So this one is going to be about highest grossing films. I did a game previously where we had to name the Time Person of the Year. This is going to be a similar game. I'm going to give you the year. If you can answer based just on the year, you're going to get 10 points. I'm going to offer you a clue. If you can get it after one clue, it's going to be 5. And if you can get it after that last clue that I give you, where I just give you basically the answer, you get 1 point. And you'll be going back and forth. I believe today we're going to flip a coin to see who goes first. I think the road team's going to get to call it in the air. So if you want to call it.
Tails.
All right. We called tails, and it is tails. So you guys have the choice. You want to go first or second?
We will go second.
All right. So you're going second. So Triviality, are you ready for the first one?
Yep.
All right. The first one. The year is 1979.
Is that the year of Godfather?
No, that would be 74.
Oh, really? That early?
Yeah. Or 71, maybe.
All right. We need a clue, I think, right?
Yeah, I almost want to say Alien, but let's get the clue.
All right. This movie could have also been about a Seinfeld character's internal struggle.
Internal struggle. Is that the Master of My Domain? Internal struggle?
That's one of the internal struggles on Seinfeld.
Or Serenity Now?
Serenity Now.
What's the other one he said?
Kramer versus Kramer.
Highest growth. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess
that's it.
Let's do it. It's an Oscar winner. Yes, Kramer versus Kramer.
The answer is Kramer versus Kramer.
Good hint.
That was a good hint.
Apocalypse Now is also 1979, and I thought about George going, Apocalypse Now! And the Serenity Now voice.
So how many points is that?
5 points for
5
you guys.
points.
All right.
All right. Number 2, the year is 1992.
It was probably, when was like Beauty and the Beast?
I don't know. I wasn't alive.
I want to get more points than they did because they only picked up 5. I would like to get the 10, but
You'll have more chances.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast was 91 or 92, but let's take a hint.
Okay, this is an animated film with a familiar voice to regular listeners.
Oh, it's Aladdin.
And the answer is Aladdin.
Nice.
Bet you're glad you took that hint, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, number 3. The year is 1989.
I don't know if I can. These go too far back for me to do without hints.
I'm trying to think. Roadhouse in 89. I just want to double check. 89.
Was Roadhouse a big box office success?
No, not really. No. I'm trying to think if I remember, because I know Roadhouse came out and what it would have lost to.
It's just 4-year-old Neil watching it over and over in the theater.
I used
like ripping kids' throats out.
I think we could take a hint here.
This film ushered in a new era of superhero films.
Oh, duh. Shoot. I'm sorry. I knew this one. It's Batman.
Okay.
It's Batman. Yeah. That's right. 1989, also generally known as Batman 89. So
Is that the Batman where he can't turn his head?
I think that's the second one. Isn't that Batman Returns? You can't turn his head.
It's more the
Maybe
first
both of
one.
them.
But it's both.
Batman doesn't turn?
You're like nuts. You want to get nuts?
All right. Question 4, or number 4, I guess. The year was 1990.
Got it.
That was right after 89.
It's,
well, if you got it, can you say what it is?
Oh, Home Alone. Is it Home Alone? We're going Home Alone.
The answer is Home Alone.
Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Good
I
grab.
knew that one because I asked the question on the show. That's why.
Oh.
It was like
I
episode 2.
I forgot that it was the answer, but he knew it.
It's in there.
All right. Number 5 is 2003.
So that was the year I graduated.
One of those Star Warses.
Oh, no. Well, wait, let me think. So 2005, I saw Revenge of the Sith in London when I was studying there. So
I would have been a freshman.
Would Attack of the Clones? Oh, no. It's probably 2003. It's got to be Lord of the Rings, right? Which one? The first one?
Be Return of the King then.
That would have been the one that you won all the Oscars then, right? Here's the thing. I don't know.
Let's be safe here.
Okay. All right. We'll take the clue.
The final installment in a series.
Yeah.
You jerk. Return of the King.
Yes, and the last clue was a Neil favorite. The answer is Return of the King.
Okay. That's all right. We got the points. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
We kicked the field goal, as they say, right, Matt?
Yep.
Dude, Neil, I know you're not on board, but as a recent convert, let me recommend that you go watch those movies because I hated them for a long time, and I just watched all 3 of them again, and they're great.
Well,
the Lords, not the Hobbit ones. So
I'm going to be getting the 4K discs because I hear that it's really a nice looking transfer. So I will watch all of them and report back. So I'm hoping that I am part of the converted.
And I'll watch with you.
Okay. That sounds good. As long as there's no feet.
All right, moving on to number 6. The year was 1984.
84.
Oh, yeah. We have hint options. That might narrow it down.
Hey, Matt.
Forgot
give us
about
a hint.
Okay. Hint 1. Released at arguably the height of its comic lead's career.
Would it be Coming to America, even though you had a Coming to America question earlier? When was the height of Eddie Murphy's career? I mean, obviously Shrek, so 2001. The height of his
Norbit. We all know it.
Waffles. What about a parfait? Parfait got layers. Everybody love parfait. That's so good. I was trying to do your Chris Walken earlier, Neil.
Oh,
just yours, because I can't do a regular one, but the 2 mice and a bucket of cream thing. So good.
Oh, yeah.
2 mice.
I don't think we're any closer to an answer after hint 1.
I would say Coming to America.
You would?
Unless you want to get 1 point. I mean, for me, the difference between 1 point and 0 points is worth taking a risk on saying Coming to America.
I guess you're right.
Coming to America.
You got the right actor. The wrong movie. The last clue is Eddie Murphy works in the same area as where I work. It's Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, yes, it is.
I knew it was Eddie Murphy, though.
Good job.
All right. The next one. The year 2000.
I don't want to bet the points.
All right, so let's take a hint.
Adapted from a book and a previous short film.
He's He's messing with me then, if that's his clue. I think I could be wrong, but I know that this movie made a lot of money and people don't think it's that great. But I think it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Jim Carrey's.
Adapted from a book and also a short film.
Yeah, I think
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It made a buttload of money. That's our guess.
All right. Your next clue is Jim Carrey makes funny faces after spending 10 hours in makeup. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Nice.
Nice.
Good job, Neal.
Good cat.
All right. The next one, 2012. Was the movie 2012?
I was going to say.
Nope.
You just gave us the answer. Well, they were making Marvel movies in 2012, right? When was the Avengers? Was it 8 years ago? 9 years ago? No.
Oh, it has to have been because there's like 20-something movies. 23, 20.
When was Iron Man 1? 2008? So that'd be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it could be. Let's go with the Avengers. Or do you want to take a hint?
I want to take a hint, but
okay.
But
I'm trying to get a lead on these jokers. Let's take a hint.
The hint is it could be classified as a buddy film, kind of.
Is it Elf?
No.
Oh, that would be a good clue for Elf. Store that one for later.
Ragnarok is too late, but I've heard that called a buddy comedy.
I mean,
and now I've got Avengers.
Thor and Hulk do the Thor and Hulk thing in the first Avengers movie. That's where he punches them through the side of the thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Fine, whatever. If you don't have anything else, 1 and 0, take the risk, right?
Yeah, let's go with Avengers.
Paul talking you out of points there. It is the Avengers.
Yeah.
Dang it. I keep doing that. I'm really proud of you, Sam, and I'm grateful to be on your team.
All right.
My love language is words of affirmation, so I appreciate it.
All right, Triviality, your last one. The year is 2015.
Maybe we should take the hint.
Yeah.
Your hint is man gets tired of his boss and joins the rival corporation.
That doesn't really fit in the Marvel movies, I don't think.
And none of the Fast and the Furious characters really join a rival.
What about Star Wars?
That could work. The Force Awakens.
He quits being a stormtrooper.
Yeah, and he joins the rebellion. That's
because Kylo Ren's a bit of a ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Force Awakens.
And your answer is The Force Awakens.
Good job.
Nice.
It was a bit of a vague clue. That's okay, though.
Yeah, thanks a
What
lot,
you should do
Matt.
for Matt's clues is tell him all the movies it's not, and then he'll have future questions based on those movies with the same clues.
All right, Hollywood Cast Connection. Your last year is 1995.
I think you're right.
Do you want to take a clue, or do you want to just go with Toy Story
No,
so we
let's
can
go
maybe
with it.
try to catch him on points?
Let's go with it.
All right, we're going with Toy Story.
Now that I agree with you, we'll be wrong.
All right, your next clue was Tim Allen stars as a man having an identity crisis. It was Toy Story.
Awesome.
I am Mrs.
Could have
Nesbitt.
also been the Santa Claus.
After the swing round, it looks like Team Hollywood Cast Connection / Rick and Jordy are at 60 points, and we only have 15 points more than them over at Triviality. So we have 75.
All right, round 2, question 1. This Canadian R&B singer got his start releasing music onto YouTube in 2010 and then had an independent hit mixtape, House of Balloons, which featured quite a few uncut gems.
All right, we are locked in.
Yeah, I know the answer. I mean, if they're locked in, I'm pretty sure the Uncut Gems reference is about The Weeknd because he was in that movie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm pretty sure it's The Weeknd if you want to lock in with that.
Good job, Paul.
Thanks.
If
All
only,
right,
if
they're
only,
pretty sure they're right. Triviality, what do you guys say?
if only that was the correct answer. You guys were so close. No, I'm just kidding. I love going on Twitter every Friday and seeing the meme of Daniel Craig on SNL going, "Ladies and gentlemen, The Weeknd."
Is he like exasperated?
Yeah, he's trying to be like, "Oh, this is wonderful," but everyone does it on a Friday because it sounds like it's been a long week. So,
Nope, the answer is The Weeknd. Great job. All right, moving on to question 2. Before officially being called an ampersand, it was just a ligature of what 2 letters, forming the Latin word for and?
A and E, the cable network.
Okay, Triviality.
We discussed a lot of letters, A, S, X, and E. We went with E and X because it forms the best Latin word, we think.
Okay, you guys were pretty close. The ones we're looking for were E and T.
Dang.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
et.
et. Oh, et. Got it.
You just cut out that whole part I said about the A&E.
The first 48 hours are the most important.
All right. Moving on to question 3 that has a word I definitely can't pronounce. This empire founded their capital city of Tenochtitlan after seeing what they saw as a prophetic sign that would later be visualized on the modern-day country's flag.
All right, we have an idea, and we're going to lock it in.
Paul, you said that kind of rang a bell to you. Tenochtitlan.
Well, it did. But you know how I overthink things.
For me, like if I was trying to assign it to a region, it looks more Latin to me, like South American kind of thing, like Aztec or Mayan. Just don't furrow your eyebrows.
I'm not. I wasn't. I was thinking. Stop. Countries that have pictures on the flags.
Mexico has the bird with the snake.
Yeah, but so does Egypt. Egypt also has a bird, but it's not Egypt.
Mozambique has a machine gun on their flag. How about that?
Yeah.
There's just a machine gun laying in the middle of the ground, and they're like, "This is our city."
That's it. Prophetic symbol. I mean, an eagle carrying a snake would be a prophetic symbol that would then be on a flag. Tenochtitlan sounds Aztec or Mayan, but he needs the name of the empire. So do you want to go with?
Oh yeah, I don't know which is which. Aztec.
Aztec.
We're locking in the wrong one. Dang it.
Okay, he said Aztec. I'm going to say Mayan. We're locking in with Mayan.
Okay.
All right. We had the same exact debate. We pretty quickly locked in on Mexico being the country, and we went with Mayan also.
And the answer was the Aztec.
Oh my! I had it right. After you
fight somebody,
talked me into it.
My gut was saying Aztec.
Was it? I knew it was one of the two because I'm assuming this is on one of Matt's alien shows. They probably talked about it. That's why I thought it had to have been one of those two.
That's good game theory, Neil. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. While the name of the company may imply that it makes everything bigger, the calculator they released in 1967 was fortunately pocket-sized. Which company was it?
Got it. Locked in.
I believe this is the company that created the gadget that Ken would love to type in 8008S on.
I was too busy playing like Fall Down and
what about the worm
Bubble
one?
Bobble
Bubble
and Centipede on it.
Centipede, yeah. We're gonna go with Texas Instruments.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas. We locked in Texas Instruments.
Your answer is Texas Instruments. Points for both teams.
One of my favorite activities of yore was in the office. I had a couple coworkers from Texas, and we just kind of walk up to them and go.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Don't humor him.
We're from Texas. We're required by law to do that.
It's true. It is mandatory.
According to Pee Wee Herman.
I'm actually committing treachery at this moment.
All right. This question 5 is from recent host Ann Gehring. Thanks, Ann.
Thank you, Ann.
In the famous scene of The Godfather, movie producer Jack Woltz wakes to find a prized horse's head in bed with him. What's the name of the horse?
Dang it.
All right, we're locked in.
Pick your favorite Caesar, man.
Oh, you really think it's like a Caesar name?
I really have nothing better unless
let's just keep it Shakespeare and go Julius Caesar is the horse's name.
So wrong.
Okay.
All right, you're in with Caesar. I for some reason I was thinking of the letter H or around that area. So we kept saying like Hyperion, but we couldn't come up with anything.
Hyrule, I think
Hyrule
we said, but that's from Zelda.
That's Zelda, right?
Yeah.
So we just locked in with Hyperion.
Okay, and the answer is Khartoum.
So close.
Wow.
Oh, that's the capital of Sudan, isn't it?
Sudan, right? Khartoum.
Well, now I'll remember it.
Yep.
All right, what are the scores after 5 questions?
After 5 questions, Hollywood Cast Connections picking up 20 points, and so are we.
80 to 95.
We needed that Aztecs question, man.
All right, well, hopefully we get some more points at the second half of this round. Moving on to question 6. In response to a tweet saying how he'd ruined Jeopardy, Ken Jennings responded, "I am become death, destroyer of game shows." The original quote, "destroyer of worlds," is from Hindu scripture, specifically the Bhagavad Gita, and is said by whom?
We're locked in.
Said by whom in the Hindu scripture?
Yes.
Not Oppenheimer.
He also said it.
He was second.
Didn't Oppenheimer say it?
Different context.
If TikTok was back then, he would have duetted the original. Is what we're getting at.
Paul, here's what I need for you to do. I need for you to think of when Michael Scott hands out the Kama Sutra in the conference room, and when Dwight starts explaining who the gods are.
That's not what it is, though. It's when they're going to celebrate Diwali, and they ask Kelly, and she's like, "I don't know," and he's like,
by the
"You don't know," and then he
King
explains
Rama after. Is it Rama? No, it's There's one with a G and a Z. Dude, Rama's the only one I can remember, but that sounds Egyptian.
So you're going with Rama?
To celebrate Diwali.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with this question. That was all about like
Destroyer of Worlds.
Sure.
Rama. Just Rama, right?
Whatever.
Okay.
That's fine.
And the little I know about the Hindu religion is that Shiva is the destroyer.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And the answer I was actually looking for was Vishnu.
Get out of here. Isn't Vishnu the creator?
No,
that's Tyler.
The quote is attributed to Vishnu.
All right.
Vishnu.
Wow.
What a horrible twist.
Yeah.
I got real nervous.
I know. I feel very relieved right now, even though
I had already written
way
your
wrong
down.
Yeah.
All right. Moving to question 7. This type of dessert wine is always shipped in from Portugal. It's always important to check how much is left when ordering a shipment.
So port
wine
is from Portugal, but I don't understand his last.
How much is left
clue
after a shipment? Yeah. I was thinking port wine as well, because that's a dessert wine, right?
Yeah.
How much is left? Because on a boat, port means left, right? Left side of the boat, port side. Is that has to be his clue, right?
I guess.
I'm terrible with.
He's messing me up with too many hints.
Yeah, there's too many. It's so up and down.
All right.
Trying to go through the dessert wines that I know. Check how much is left is the clue that's hanging me up. I know port wine is a thing, and Portugal. I'm wondering if it's called port wine because it's made in Portugal. Like to make true champagne, it has to be made in Champagne, that kind of thing, you know?
Champagne.
Let's just go with port wine. I'm not going to get any closer to it.
That's fine.
We also said port, and we think that you threw in that extra clue at the end because that's the right side of the ship.
Or the left side of the ship.
Port was the left side of the ship. Either way, the answer is port.
Isn't the starboard the left side? No? Have I have that confused?
I think you got it backwards. I'm pretty sure port is the left side.
I've got everything backwards today. The destroyers are the creators, and the Aztecs are the Mayans, and the left is right.
That is true. We have been on. It's opposite day today. You're right.
Oh, good to know. All right, moving on to question 8. In video games, you often see certain types of characters referred to as NPCs. What does NPC stand for?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Ooh, that was
You
quick.
guys want to go first?
NPC is a non-playable character.
Yeah, non-player character.
Mm-hmm. The non-playable character. Nice, easy one after some rough ones earlier.
Good job, Paul.
Thanks. Video games.
All right, question 9. The It franchise has been very lucrative for Stephen King, with the remake and its sequel easily topping its highest box office returns. What 1999 movie is currently sitting in the 3rd spot when adjusted for inflation? These are Stephen King movies.
So what you're saying is the 2 It's are 1 and 2?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. We're trying to latch onto something inflation, but that just keeps bringing us back to the balloon from It. So we're going to go with that, which is the prequel to It.
The lesser known.
Okay.
We went through almost every Stephen King movie we could think of, and none of them were from 1999. And then Ken said maybe it's a non-horror one, and we landed on
The Green Mile.
And your answer is The Green Mile.
Sam.
And we freaking talked about that too. I said The Green Mile. He was like, what's that movie that's Stephen King that you don't really know it's Stephen King? And I said Shawshank, and he said, yeah, never mind. So then we said Green Mile.
The one I was surprised was Room 1408 was really high up there on a lot of them. It made a lot of money, and I don't know anyone who's seen it.
Oh, I saw that in the theater.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's why.
Only just begun.
I think Ken actually inspire the idea because you had to use the washroom.
Yeah, and Tom Hanks couldn't.
Tom Hanks couldn't. It's opposite day.
Man.
All right, let's finish out round 2 with a Valentine's Day question. 'Cause this game's probably coming out sometime around Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
In the movie Valentine's Day, Taylor Lautner is involved. Nope, continue. In the movie Valentine's Day, Taylor Lautner is involved in his own love story subplot where he's decided to wait for marriage to make love to his girlfriend, who he was dating in real life at the time. Who plays his girlfriend?
I think it's Taylor Swift. I know she's in the movie and I know they dated, so I'm going to go with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, we know in real life they broke up because Taylor Lautner could only have sex when there was a full moon, but we went with Taylor Swift.
Plus, crying out your own name is a little bit weird.
I'm glad that was right. That was the only guess I would have had anyway. I wrote it on my paper.
After regulation, it looks like Team Hollywood Cast Connection / Rick and Jordy have 110 points, and Team Triviality / the other guys has 135 points.
Golly gee.
So still close. It's still anybody's game, especially with this final round and the wagers. So Matt, what are those categories so we can pick our wagers?
All right.
And
so
we all know
today.
that Matt's categories are useless.
Yes.
Well, don't worry. These are extra useless because your categories are: where's the beef?
Here we go.
The breakfast of champions. Bet you can't eat just one. You're in good hands. And lastly, what's in your wallet?
Well, since it doesn't matter, let's just do 20s.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Let's do 20s all the way down as well.
Okay, so in light of Matt's categories being absolutely useless, both teams are doing 20s all the way down, and we'll just see how it shakes out.
Yep. And now while both of these teams are risking 20 points on these questions, there's absolutely no risk in joining us over at Patreon. Neal, why don't you tell them a little bit about Patreon?
Well, what a wonderful segue, Matt. If you'd like to join us over at Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/Triviality Podcast, where you can find tons and tons of bonus audio content, and you get some stickers and posters and boxes. Oh my, that's a Wizard of Oz reference for all of you Hollywood Cast Connection fans. We really appreciate all the support we've gotten over the past 4 years, and we're at about 350 patrons right now, and we'd love to hit 500 this year, and that is our end-of-year goal. So if you can help us do that, help us continue to grow the show, we'd be very, very appreciative. So please go to patreon.com/Triviality Podcast.
Let's make it 2,000. Let's make it 3,000.
Let's make it 3,000, and you get a chicken cooker that if you can leave it on and it cooks. Is that what the saying is?
Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it.
Let's make it 4,000.
Well, let's just make it 10,000. How about that? 10,000
right,
patrons.
10,000 patrons.
Well, before this ends up at 100,000, why don't we get to these questions? All right. In the category of where's the beef? Not trying to start a beef with any of the other really southern capitals, but this oceanic capital city is definitely the most southern in the world. In the category of the breakfast of champions, Urban Meyer has just been named the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prior to this, he had been a very successful college coach, winning national championships at 2 different programs, one in the Big Ten and one in the SEC. Name both of them. In Betcha Can't Eat Just One. In 2019, Bronte, a town in Sicily, celebrated the 30th anniversary of a festival celebrating this green gold of Etna. You'd be nuts not to know that this food item is given as a gift during Chinese New Year as a symbol of health, happiness, and good fortune. In You're in Good Hands. The Crickets were surprisingly not the backing band to Jiminy, but rather this rock legend who, unlike Jiminy, was more known for his glasses than his top hat. In What's in Your Wallet. With a name reminiscent of a houseplant, this is the more commonly known name for the money withheld from your paycheck that funds federal programs that provide benefits for retirees, people with disabilities, and children of deceased workers.
Okay. We will think about these answers, and we'll be right back. All right. After a little bit of deliberation, both teams are locked in. So let's hear the questions one more time, the stupid hints and all, and we'll see how we did.
All right. In Where's the Beef? Not trying to start a beef with any of the other really southern capitals, but this oceanic capital city is definitely the most southern in the world. What is that capital? We'll start with Triviality.
See, here we were trying to do geography, and then we realized beef Wellington is a thing, and Wellington, New Zealand.
Nice.
All right, Jorts.
I was so tempted to spin my thing around, and I had it all wrong. New Zealand is under Australia. We locked in with Canberra.
The answer was Wellington. Was named after, and the dish was named after the Duke of Wellington. So that's where it comes from.
Cool.
Despite Gordon Ramsay saying that it's his dish. It's not.
I saw he's making a beet Wellington now.
Interesting.
For the vegetarians out there.
And if you
Beyond
make it wrong,
Wellington.
he'll call you a donut.
Okay.
All right, question 2 in the Breakfast of Champions. Basically, where did Urban Meyer win his 2 NCAA championships? We'll start with Jorts. You guys had a little bit of an idea there.
Yeah, I don't know what SEC schools are. I remembered Urban Meyer from Ohio State. And then Paul listed off some SEC schools, and Auburn sounded right to me. So we locked in with Ohio State and Auburn.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to our friend Rich Eisen over at the Rich Eisen Show, our sponsor for today's episode. Luckily, I was watching a YouTube clip of this when he was imploring Urban Meyer to take the Jaguars job, and he put on the stat that he won at both Ohio State and then Florida. And that was our other answer.
Mm-hmm. The answer was Florida.
Dang it.
We had the colors right.
Wait, not Florida State?
No, just the Gators,
Yeah.
University of Florida.
Florida's blue and orange like Auburn, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
No points for that, though. Sorry. No bonus points. Question 3. In Bet You Can't Eat Just One, in 2019, Bronte, a town in Sicily, celebrated the 30th anniversary of a festival celebrating this green gold of Etna. What is that green gold of Etna, Jorts?
Yeah, we think it's the namesake of Dana Carvey in the cult classic Master of Disguise. We locked in with pistachio.
Yeah, you said you'd be nuts and also the color green, so we said pistachio.
Mm-hmm. The answer was pistachio.
Turtle.
All right, moving from turtles to crickets. The Crickets were surprisingly not the backing band to Jiminy. Who were they the backing band for, Triviality?
Yeah, this one we stumbled on. We said Elvis Costello, but now after we've locked in, I realize the correct answer. But you guys go ahead.
Yeah, we don't know what the correct answer is. We talked about a lot of guys with glasses and landed on Elton John.
It's actually based off one of my favorite Weezer songs. We're looking for Buddy Holly.
Yeah. See, he doesn't wear glasses anymore, though.
Not currently. Well, I mean, he could have been. You have to go about 6 feet to get to him.
Yikes.
All right, question 5. What's in your wallet? What's that wonderful thing that comes out of your paycheck every week? We'll start with Jorts.
Yeah, we thought the houseplant you were referring to was a ficus, so we went with FICA, F-I-C-A.
All right, and Triviality.
We also thought the same.
Yep, that was quite a stretch by me, but the answer was FICA.
You remember on the first episode of Friends, or one of the first episodes, when Rachel gets a job and she's like, "Who's this FICA guy and why is he getting all my money?"
Nice.
And it looks like after the final points have been tabulated, Hollywood Cast Connection will have 90 points, so they did surpass their 60 from their show, if you're a fan and a listener, which you should be. And today's cream of the crop is Team Triviality with 195 points.
I am the cream.
Holy cow.
Good Lord.
Holy cow.
We got smoked.
So, Ken, we're back on top. We've had sort of a dry season.
What do you mean? You're winning all the time.
I just mean together. As a team, as the other guys, the Will Ferrell and the Mark Wahlberg. Who is that? Is that your wife? Who is that? Ava Mendes?
Yeah. Seriously.
Stop joking. Who is this?
Bye, Sheila.
You learned to dance like that sarcastically?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, Sam and Paul, worthy competitors, but every week you're putting in a great performance on your show. So can you tell people where to find it? Because everyone should be listening to it.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, find us anywhere you find podcasts. Somebody called it a podcatcher the other day, but which I thought was cool. Mm-hmm. We are Hollywood Cast Connection. Just look for the gray logo with the black and white clacker on it. Comes out every Monday morning And you can also find us HollywoodCastConnection.com. That's got links to our Facebook group and our Patreon. And we'd love to interact with you guys and make some connections.
And thanks again, you guys, for joining us today. We had a great time. For Sam, Paul, Matt, Neal, I'm Ken. That was Triviality.
Good luck, Jeff. I'm gonna get the 4K discs.
Are you now?
Hey, at least then it'll be very enjoyable. No, I'm gonna get the
4K being 4,000.
Yes.
Start flat.
Yeah.